The village of Alderwood nestled beside a wide, slow river, known for water lilies that carpeted the surface in summer, but that felt like a lifetime ago. War, a brutal, uninvited storm, had swept through the valley. Homes became skeletons of charred timber. The air hung thick with the bitter scent of ash and despair, and the laughter of children was replaced by an oppressive silence. The villagers, survivors clinging to existence, moved like shadows amidst the ruins, their faces etched with grief and exhaustion. The river itself seemed to weep, choked with debris. Its once clear waters turned a murky gray. Life felt extinguished, a fragile candle snuffed out by relentless wind. Every sunrise brought only the harsh light, revealing more loss, more brokenness. Young Elara, barely 10, wandered the desolate banks. Each dawn her own home was gone, her parents lost in the initial chaos. She lived now with old Granny Marin, whose eyes held a deep, unspoken sorrow. Elara felt the village's pain like a stone in her chest. One misty morning, drawn towards the river's edge near the blackened husk of the old mill, she saw it in the center of a small, mud-choked pond. A remnant of a decorative garden now obliterated, stood a solitary lotus stalk. It was scorched black near its base, its leaves tattered and brown, yet it defiantly pierced the murky water. It wasn't beautiful. It was wounded, like everything else, but it was alive. A fragile spark ignited within Elara. This burnt stalk, clinging to life amidst utter devastation, became her secret focus. She couldn't mend houses or bring back the lost, but perhaps she could tend to this one stubborn survivor. Each day, she carefully waded into the cold, silty water. Ignoring the chill that seeped into her bones, she gently cleared ash and fallen debris from around its base. Her small fingers working meticulously in the mud, she whispered stories to it. Tales Granny Marin told of brighter times, her voice a soft murmur against the heavy quiet. She brought precious scoops of cleaner water from upstream, pouring them slowly around the roots. It was a tiny act of defiance against the overwhelming ruin. News of Elara's strange pilgrimage spread slowly through the weary villagers. At first, they watched her with hollow eyes, seeing only a child's futile gesture in the face of immense sorrow. The stalk remained stubbornly closed, its promise unfulfilled. Yet something shifted. Seeing Elara's quiet, unwavering dedication day after day in sun and drizzle began to chip away at the crust of apathy surrounding their hearts. Old Man Hemlock, who had lost his entire orchard, started clearing rubble near the pond. Syra, whose son was missing, began mending nets again, her movements tentative. At first, the scorched lotus stalk became a silent question. If this fragile thing could endure, perhaps they could too? Weeks passed. The first tentative signs of green appeared on the stalk, a whisper of life against the blackened stem. Then, one miraculous morning, Elara arrived to find a sight that stole her breath. Overnight, the impossible had happened. A single, breathtaking lotus blossom had unfurled. Its petals were a luminous, pure white, untouched by the surrounding grime, radiating an ethereal glow against the backdrop of ash and ruin. At its heart blazed a vibrant, sun-like yellow. It stood tall and perfect, a silent symphony of resilience blooming defiantly in the heart of destruction. Elara stood frozen, tears tracing clean paths down her dusty cheeks. Word rippled through Alderwood like a healing wave. Villagers abandoned their tasks. Drawn to the pond, they stood in awed silence, tears flowing freely now. Not just tears of grief, but tears of profound wonder and a dawning, fragile hope. They saw not just a flower, but a symbol. It mirrored their own scorched spirits, their own battered existence. Yet it declared that beauty and life could erupt even from the deepest fire. Granny Marin placed a trembling hand on Elara's shoulder, her voice thick with emotion. Look, child, you helped it. Remember the sun. The air itself felt lighter, charged with a shared, unspoken understanding. The white lotus bloomed for several glorious days, a radiant beacon in the desolation. Its delicate scent, sweet and clean, seemed to cleanse the lingering bitterness of smoke. People gathered by the pond not just to look, but to simply be near its quiet strength. They began talking more, sharing memories, planning not just for survival, but for rebuilding. When the petals finally began to gently fall, drifting on the murky water, it wasn't an end, but a promise, for nestled within the fading flower were seeds. Hardy, dark capsules holding the potential for countless new beginnings. The villagers carefully collected them, knowing these tiny treasures would be planted in the cleansed earth of their new homes. When spring returned, the lotus that bloomed in fire hadn't just survived. It had taught them how to live again, its luminous echo forever etched in their healing hearts.